Hi everyone, it's Mel from Sparkly Belly. I've been curious about these curly wire rhinestone appliques used to decorate belly dance costumes, and lots of dancers have been asking how to make these on Facebook. They're so cute and help you create beautiful romantic designs. It took me a while, but I finally figured out how to make them, and in this video you'll see my way of making these. I call them the grapevine appliques. Let's get started. To make these grapevine appliques, you need stretch fabric. You don't need a lot of fabric, about 2.5 centimeters by 30 centimeters or 1 inch by 12 inches per applique. Just make sure it stretches well. I suggest you test with fabric scraps first. Matching color thread. Wire. I'm using 20 gauge copper wire since copper doesn't rust. I recommend using 20 gauge wire or thicker wire. Small safety pin. Regular sewing tools, pliers and wire cutters, and rhinestones and glue to decorate the appliques. First, cut stretch fabric into 2.5 centimeters wide or 1 inch wide and whatever length you like. Mine is about 25 centimeters or 10 inches long. Make sure you cut the fabric parallel to the direction of stretch. On the wrong side, fold the ends at about 5 millimeters or 1/4 inch. This makes the ends cleaner and easier to stitch later. Then fold it in half lengthwise and place pins to hold. Then sew it with the 5 millimeter or 1/4 inch seam allowance from the fold. I like to use a narrow zigzag stitch or other stretch stitch for this so the stitches won't pop. If you don't have a sewing machine, you can stitch by hand. Then put a safety pin at the end of the tube and turn it inside out. Take your hand sewing needle and thread and stitch one of the ends shut. It's already folded in, so just take a little bit of fabric from the either side of the opening and close it with the stitches. Next, take your wire and bend it at about 1 centimeter or 1/2 inch from the end with pliers. Make it round so it won't scratch or poke out of the tube. Insert the wire into the tube. As you do this, stretch the tube as tightly as you can without ripping the tube. This prevents the fabric from bunching up when you shape the wire later. Leave about 1 centimeter or 1/2 inch of wire and cut. And just like we did before, bend the end of the wire. Insert the end of the wire inside the tube and close the end by hand stitching again. And now you have the base of the applique. You can now shape it however you like. I tend to first make a general shape by hand, and for small curls I use pliers. If the fabric bunches up around small curves, simply slide the fabric to smooth it out. For this shape, I first folded the wire in half to make this center loop, then made another smaller loop and curved the rest. Same for the other side. Then decorate your appliques. Here I just glued rhinestones on with E6000 glue. By the way, this glue syringe is amazing. I'll show you how to use this in my next video. To apply them to a costume, first place the appliques wherever you like and use pins to hold them in place. A great thing about these appliques is that you can still adjust the shapes of the wire at this point. Once you like the whole placement, take your hand sewing needle and thread and stitch around the outlines of the appliques. And that's it! These grapevine appliques create such a gorgeous effect on a costume, and it can be done fairly quickly. I was able to make all these 7 pieces in a couple of hours, and I love how beautiful they look. It doesn't show very well on camera, but the rhinestones sparkle so much in person, creating a romantic and luxurious look. I hope you like these DIY grapevine rhinestone appliques, and I hope you give it a try. If you make your own, please share your creations on Sparkly Belly's Facebook group. I love seeing what everyone makes with my tutorials. And if you want to see more belly dance costume DIYs like this, join in my free email course, Belly Dance Costume Making 101, from the link on the screen. In this free course, you'll learn to make belly dance costumes from scratch. Thanks for watching and keep sparkling!